Hi everyone, it's Coco, your candy aunt here, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a candy butterfly. I have two different color combinations here, so this is one color combination, and this is another color combination. And this one is going to give you more of a ombre type of rainbow look with opaque and translucent beads. But before I do this one, I wanted to show you this color combination here. So I'm going to build layer by layer using a different color bead for each layer. And that way you're going to really see how each layer builds so that when you make your own color combination, it's going to be much easier to figure out. Okay? So I'm using these beads. I mean, if you want to use just one single color bead, that's totally fine too, as long as you have the correct bead count. So for this, I'm using mini pony beads for all the color beads, and I'm using a regular size pony bead for the two black beads. So I have 6 mini pony beads and 1 regular size black bead here for the first layer. The second layer, I have 4 mini pony beads. The third layer, I have 12 mini pony beads. The fourth layer, I have 1 regular size pony bead. The fifth layer, I have 8 mini pony beads. And then the sixth and last layer, I have 14 mini pony beads. So if you don't have the rainbow colors, use whatever color you have. Just make sure that you have the bead count correct. And if you only have one size of pony bead, maybe you only have regular size pony beads or you only have mini pony beads, it will still work. But I prefer to use the mini pony beads because I wanted a smaller butterfly. Okay, so let's get started. Hi everyone, it's Coco, your candy aunt here, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a candy butterfly. I have two different color combinations here, so this is one color combination, and this is another color combination. And this one is going to give you more of a ombre type of rainbow look with opaque and translucent beads. But before I do this one, I wanted to show you this color combination here. So I'm going to build layer by layer using a different color bead for each layer. And that way you're going to really see how each layer builds so that when you make your own color combination, it's going to be much easier to figure out. Okay? So I'm using these beads. I mean, if you want to use just one single color bead, that's totally fine too, as long as you have the correct bead count. So for this, I'm using mini pony beads for all the color beads, and I'm using a regular size pony bead for the two black beads. So I have 6 mini pony beads and 1 regular size black bead here for the first layer. The second layer, I have 4 mini pony beads. The third layer, I have 12 mini pony beads. The fourth layer, I have 1 regular size pony bead. The fifth layer, I have 8 mini pony beads. And then the sixth and last layer, I have 14 mini pony beads. So if you don't have the rainbow colors, use whatever color you have. Just make sure that you have the bead count correct. And if you only have one size of pony bead, maybe you only have regular size pony beads or you only have mini pony beads, it will still work. But I prefer to use the mini pony beads because I wanted a smaller butterfly. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to do my first pattern here, and I have about 3 feet of fishing line, and this is a 20-pound test fishing line. If you don't have 20-pound test fishing line, that's totally fine. Just use any fishing line or use elastic. Anything will really do, but this is what I prefer to work with for this project. Okay, so let's start by adding this last row here, or the first row. We're going to do 3 reds, the regular size black. See how much bigger it is? And then the 3 reds. So it's going to look like this. Okay? Simple. Okay. Now I'm going to add on one string 2 orange beads. And then on the other string, I'm going to add 2 orange beads. So let's pull this down, put the ends together. I'm going to pull down. Okay. So it should look like this right now. Now, with one side, let's move the string. Okay. So on one side, I'm going to take the string. I'm going to ignore that first orange bead, and I'm going to go through the second bead that's closer to the red. So I'm going to pull through that second orange bead. Okay. So that looks like that. And then I'm going to do this on the same side. Sorry, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to ignore that first orange bead, and I'm going to go through the second orange bead right here, like this. I want to pull the beads down. So push the beads close to the center so there are no gaps. Okay? So this is what your bead should look like. Orange is the first layer. Sorry, red is the first layer. Orange is the second layer. Now we're going to build the third layer using yellow. So on one string, I'm going to add 6 yellows. Oops. Six yellows. And then the other side, other string, I'm also going to add 6 yellows. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Okay, now I'm going to take this string and pull through that black bead. Okay, and then I'm going to take the other string and I'm going to pull through the black bead in the other direction. So that it looks like this. Okay, so red was the first layer, orange was the second layer, and now yellow is the third layer. Okay, now I'm going to add the black bead. So I want to make sure my 2 string ends are about the same. And it actually is. So I'm going to add the black bead, and then I'm going to cross the string through the black bead so that both strings are coming out of that black bead in opposite directions. And I'm going to pull down. Okay. So it's going to look like this, but I'm going to fix the orientation. So I'm going to align it like this so that this is pointing down. And I'm going to take this string and I'm going to go through these 2 yellow beads closest to the black bead. So I'm going to go through these 2 yellow beads. Okay, now I'm going to switch strings. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the string and I'm going to go through the 2 yellow beads like that. So now the beads aren't going to flip anymore. They're kind of secured right there. Okay? So it should look like this. Let's align it. Let's fix this alignment. Okay. So now I'm going to add the next layer, which is my green. Okay. So on one string, I'm going to add 4 greens. And then on the other string, I'm going to add 4 greens. So it'll look like this. Okay. Now I'm going to take this string. I'm going to pull it through this black bead. Okay. I'm going to pull it through the top black bead. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to take the other string and I'm going to go through the same black bead, but in the opposite direction. Oops. Slippery. All right, here we go. Okay, so now I have this black bead, has both strings coming out of it in opposite directions. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier actually, which I'm going to take the string and I'm going to go through the 2 beads, the 2 green beads next to the black bead. So it comes out from there. Turn this over. And I'm going to take these 2 green beads. I'm going to pull the string through them. So it looks like this. Okay. Now I'm going to add my last layer. So 7 blue beads on each string. Okay, other side. Okay, so it should look like this. So I'm going to take this string and I'm going to pull it here through these 2 yellow beads and this middle black bead. Okay, so I'm going to pull it through these 2 yellow beads and this middle black bead. The 2 yellow beads and this middle black bead. So it goes through right there. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. And do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to find those 2 yellow beads in the middle. I'm going to pull through there. Just like that. Okay. Now, just pull this other string through to the other side so that they are meeting right here in the middle. I'm gonna pull the string tight, and I'm going to tie it now. So I'm going to do a single knot. And just adjust my beads a little bit before I tie it. Okay. And then I'm going to do a double knot. So I'm going to go through this loop 2 times. And I'm going to tie it slowly. Okay. Then pull. Okay, so at this point here, very, very important, I'm going to adjust my beads. So I'm going to pop all these beads and place them where I want them to go. Okay, so I want that to go in, I want that to go out. Kind of want to pop my beads like this and make them round. So I'm playing with the bead placement. And that helps me shape everything a little bit better. So I kind of like this shape. See, I'm adjusting all the beads the way I like it. So I think this is good. I'm going to pull the string one more time. I'm going to add another single knot. It's really important that after you tie it, you adjust the beads. So at this point here, I'm going to add some clear nail polish. I can't open the nail polish. Hold on. Ooh, this is tight. Okay, let me find my other nail polish. It's weird. I can't find it. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Nail polish. Okay, so I'm going to open this up a little bit and add the nail polish to the knot. And then I'm going to pull it tightly one last time. Make sure that my beads are still where I want them to be. And then I'm going to pull the string through this black bead here. Before I cut it. And this kind of hides the string a little bit. I'll pull this one through this side. It really doesn't matter what bead you pull it through, as long as it's the bead next to it. Okay, now I'm going to cut. Okay, so you'll notice that I did a rainbow color, but it's not really a rainbow, right? It's, I mean, I'm using the colors of the rainbow, but it's not balanced. It's, I don't know, this to me isn't very pleasing to the eye, but I did want to show it to you so that you see how the layers are formed. So the red is the first layer, orange is the second layer, that yellow is the third layer, then we added the black bead for the fourth layer, the fifth layer was green, and the sixth layer was blue. So, knowing this, we're going to try doing the second pattern just to see a more of a ombre rainbow look, okay? Hi everyone, we just made this butterfly right here, and I'm hoping that seeing the colors and how they layered will help you when we make our next butterfly. So I'm using a mix of mini pony beads, regular size pony beads, those are the 2 black ones. And for the mini pony beads, some of them are opaque and some of them are translucent. So I'm going to try this color combination. And honestly, I think I'm using too many colors. I think that the purple might be a little bit too much because I'm not going to get a good balanced color fade going on, but I don't know. Let's try it. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I have here about 2.5 feet of fishing line. Earlier, I used about 3 feet, and it was a little too long, so I'm gonna do like 2.5 feet with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the red, pink, orange, black, orange, oops, pink, and red. So this is the only one that I started from the outside. The rest of the color combinations, I'm going to start from the inside going out. But because this is the first layer, it's a little bit different. So this is what I have right now. And now I'm going to add the 2 pinks on both ends. So pink is going on both ends. I'm going to pull everything down towards the center. So it looks like this. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end and I'm going to pull it through this pink bead right here. It's the second bead. So I'm going to pull it through so that it does that. Creates a little tail right there. Turn this around and do that to the other side as well. So I'm going to take the end of the string. I'm going to get that second bead. Pull the string through the second bead. So I have this, and I want to push these 2 ends towards the center so that it looks like this. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go from the inside out. So I'm going to go red, pink, orange, orange, yellow, yellow. Just like that. I'm going to do that to the other side as well. Red, pink, orange, orange, yellow, yellow. So you should have something that looks like this W. Okay? So I'm going to take this end here, and I'm going to go through that black bead. So that I make a loop. And then with the other end, I'm going to go through the same black bead. Pull it through. So it does this. So this is what it should look like right now. Now, I'm going to take this black bead, put it on the string, and then I'm going to cross this string going in the opposite direction, like that. And I'm going to pull it through. Okay. So I'm just going to pull this bead up. Oh, looks like it might be stuck on something. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. I accidentally pulled this string through this orange bead right here. So I'm going to pull that string out. I didn't check properly. That's my fault there. So I want to make sure that this string, both strings are coming out of the black bead. So I accidentally put the string through that orange bead too. So that was my mistake. So one more time. Oops. I'm going to put that black bead on. And I'm going to pull the bead all the way down. So it looks like this. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit floppy here. What I need to do is point these two ends down. So point the two ends down. I'm going to take this end of the string and I'm going to pull it through these two yellow beads. So if you're using a different color combination, it's the two beads right next to your middle or the top black bead. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And take the string and I'm going to pull it through those two yellow beads, just like that. And so it should look like this. So right now the string is coming out of this bead and this yellow bead, the second yellow bead. Okay? Okay, so going from the inside out, I'm going to add these two, I guess they're like blue-green, and then these two. Same thing on the other side. Okay, should look like this. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the string and I'm going to go through this black bead here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm turning it and take the string and go through the black bead. Okay, so it looks like this. Both strings are coming out from that black bead there. Okay, both strings are coming out of that black bead. You want to make sure that everything is pretty tight. Nothing should be too loose. We're going to adjust the beads at the end. Okay, I'm going to take one string and I'm going to pull it through two beads, and that's the two beads that are next to the black bead. So this string is going to go through these two beads, which happen to be blue here, and take the other string and I'm going to go through the two beads like this. Okay, okay, I'm going to add these beads. I have my two blues, my two purples, two more purples, and a yellow. So it looks like this. And do that to the other side. Two blues, two purples, two purples, and a yellow. Okay, doesn't that look pretty so far? Okay, should look like this. I'm going to take the string and I'm going to go through these two yellow beads. Two yellow beads, and I'm also going to go through this black bead. It actually doesn't matter which black bead you go through. Because they're both in the middle. Okay. So I have this string coming out of that black bead. And then with the other string, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go through these 2 yellow beads right here. Okay, it should look like this. Oh, this actually looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to tie this 1 knot. Kind of reminds me of like Lisa Frank. Did I just date myself? Okay, I'm gonna add 2 knots. And I'm going to tie this. So it looks a little wonky, right? Like kind of weird. All right. So most important step is we have to squish the beads together and pop them into the right place. So I'm squishing these 2 top beads in. I'm putting these beads inside the next bead to give it like a rounded look. So I'm putting this bead in here, putting this bead in there. Okay. Let's see, does the middle look okay? Let's adjust this bead so it's like that. Stick that bead out a little bit more. These look okay. Okay, I'm gonna tie this really tight again, just like that. And wow, this is really pretty. That works out. That is nice. I tried to make it so that the outside, or not the outside, but the top and the bottom were opaque and the center was translucent. So that was my thought. And I was a little worried right here where the purple and this blue and this yellow meet. I wasn't sure if the colors would clash too much, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to add 1 more knot here. And I'm going to take my clear nail polish. Clear nail polish. I'm going to open up the beads a little bit. And dab the knot. Okay, really important step right here. Make sure that you pull it tight 1 more time, because sometimes when you open the beads up like that, they will move and get loose again. So I'm checking all my beads, make sure they're in place, making sure that they are where I want them to be. Okay, now right now the string is sticking out right here between the black and the yellow. So I'm going to pull this string through these black beads here so that when I cut it, the strings won't show as much. Now, I do want to show you, this is how much extra string I have. Okay, I have a lot of extra string on both ends, but that's okay because fishing line is kind of slippery, and as you pull, you kind of need a little bit of that extra length just to make it easier on yourself. If you have elastic, you don't need all this extra because there's some friction there and it'll pull nicely. But this is what the rainbow looks like. It is actually really beautiful. And this was the original rainbow. So I hope this one helped you see the layers. And I hope this one helped you with just showing you how I planned out the beads and how they came out. There are so many different color combinations that you can make. So I'm really excited to see what you will come up with. So yeah, until next time, everybody. See you later.